When it comes to the ultimate guilty pleasure, potato chips are definitely at the top of the list. Burning off the calories from one chip takes a minute of jump rope, finishing a whole bag? Just 1 minute. Few know who invented this sinful snack, and even fewer can explain why hands keep reaching into the chip bag. The answer is simple: chips are no longer just food, they're a precision trap crafted by dozens of scientific fields, designed to make resistance futile. The legendary birth of a snack. The most widely told origin story dates back to 1853. A New York chef named George was working overtime, frustrated by a wealthy customer who repeatedly demanded his French fries be thinner and fried longer. In a fit of anger, George sliced potatoes into paper-thin pieces and fried them for a full 49 seconds. What started as a move became an unexpected hit. The wealthy customer was thrilled. Whether the story is true or not, potato chips did emerge in the mid-19th century. In 1895, the world's first chip factory opened, initially relying entirely on manual slicing until machines replaced human labor 20 years later. Over the next 50 years, major brands raced to outdo each other, competing on flavor, texture, and even psychology, eventually creating the diverse chip market we see today. Now, chips have long become a universal go-to-lazy snack worldwide. The numbers don't lie, we're already addicted. United States, snack lovers consume 370 million kilograms of chips annually, with a per capita annual consumption of 9 kilograms. Translated to packaged chips, that's roughly one bag finished every 1.5 days. Data covers all age groups, from 1-year-olds to 80-year-olds. United Kingdom, the average person eats 225g bags of chips per week, with national annual sales reaching 141,000 tons. The cost, however, is steep. A 2011 study revealed that chips are one of the culprits behind obesity, impacting weight gain 4 times more than candy and desserts. And that their high salt content continuously harms the heart and blood pressure. In the UK, there have even been cases of teenagers going blind due to long-term excessive consumption of chips and French fries. Governments step in to regulate. As the nation's obsession with chips threatened public health, even affecting the next generation, governments around the world finally took action. In July 2023, the UK planned to impose the world's first snack tax, with chips being one of the main targets. Hungary was more aggressive. As early as 2011, it had already introduced a chip tax to curb chip consumption. Why single out chips? Because their addictiveness far exceeds that of other snacks. The Science of Addiction: How Chips Hook You. In 1985, after attending a nutrition seminar, scientist Lin Yishan wrote to a friend, reiterating his concern: humans can become addicted to salt. The public has long recognized the dangers of salt, but my former employer Frito-Lay refuses to change. Frito-Lay is the snack giant under PepsiCo, home to brands like Lay's and Doritos. Predictably, Frito-Lay's new product sales plummeted the following year. Consumers realized that eating high-salt chips long-term desensitized their taste buds, leading them to actively resist. To save the market, Frito-Lay urgently hired researcher Dwayne Dutzman. His research showed, if people avoid overly salty food long enough to restore their taste buds sensitivity, they can change their salt-eating habits. In other words, instead of just adding more salt, new flavors were needed to distract consumers. Overnight, Frito-Lay launched dozens of hybrid chip flavors, and the market rebounded. People's hands were once again reaching eagerly into chip bags. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Frito-Lay operates a dedicated research center near Dallas, employing over 500 chemists, psychologists, and technicians, with an annual investment of $30 million, all to figure out one thing: how to make you unable to stop eating chips. Shape: the U-shape not only ensures even breaking but also makes the most flavorful bottom of the chip touch the tongue first, maximizing the taste impact. Crispness: they used a $40,000 chewing simulator to test, finally discovering that people love chips that crack under 4 pounds of pressure per square foot. The Maillard reaction from high-temperature frying creates a crispy outer layer, and the crunch sound when chewing even stimulates appetite audibly, hence why just hearing the sound makes you salivate. Brain manipulation. Every chip activates the brain's nucleus accumbens, the reward center, prompting the body to secrete endorphins, natural painkillers, that temporarily eliminate self-control. This is the hedonic hyperphagia theory proposed by German scholars. Even when full, you can't help but keep eating. Eliminating guilt? There's a strategy for that. In 1957, marketing expert Ernest Dichter wrote a 24-page report specifically to solve the guilt of eating chips. Rename fried to baked to create a healthy illusion. Launch small packages, seemingly less, but the total amount eaten stays the same. Pair chips with salads and smoothies to leverage the credibility of healthy foods and subtly change consumer perceptions. The dark side of the food industry. Steven Sanger, former CEO of General Mills, the parent company of Häagen-Dazs, and the world's sixth-largest food company, once said bluntly, "Don't talk to me about nutrition, talk about taste. If it's delicious, there's no need to promote those tasteless healthy foods." In 1999, major food industry giants held a meeting to address obesity in the U.S. But when it came to reducing sugar, salt, and fat in food, the room fell silent. Their response: "We won't alter our core recipes just because a group of doctors are worried about obesity." The truth is disturbing. The snack industry is no longer just making food, it's engineering. Addiction. It constantly tests the limits of human physical tolerance, targets the preferences of new generations, and prioritizes taste over health, repeatedly capturing each generation of eaters. Next time you reach for a chip, stop blaming yourself for weak willpower. You're not fighting against a snack, you're up against an entire team of scientists. And they're really, really good at their job of making you addicted.